at the hardware store, hang up a pull-up bar in your room and start doing pull-ups. And if you can't do one pull-up, hang on that bar. And you're gonna start to get a little bit stronger. You're gonna start to get a little bit healthier. You're gonna start to get more focused. You're gonna start to become more resilient. And you're gonna start to understand the world better. And you're gonna start to progress in every aspect of your life. And you'll see that if you have that kind of discipline right now, you're gonna end up with freedom. Because you're sad, now you're gonna make a bunch of bad decisions because you're sad. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You're sad, okay. You get emotional sometimes, okay. Got it. Now, get control of your emotions and carry on with your life. And sometimes you're gonna get hit with those waves, and that's okay. No, at a certain point, you say, okay, my emotions are now leading me down the wrong path. I'm in control. I'm not gonna allow my emotions to make my decisions. They're in the calculus. I'm not saying take your emotions out of the calculus, but they have to be one component of your calculus, not the whole equation. You can't pull them out of there or they'll bite you, but you can't make them the overwhelming denominator of everything that you do, or it's gonna be problematic.
Alrighty. Good morning, beautiful people. How is everyone doing? Let me know in the chat box if you can hear me loud and clear, if you can see my screen, so we can start our morning session. There we go. All right, news ready, charts ready, good. Can you hear me loud and clear? Let me know. Just drop a 111, give me a thumbs up, something like that. All right, loud and clear, amazing, thank you. Let's get this thing started. Before we go into the charts, let's talk about what we see on Forex Factory. Like you can see, we don't have a lot of news today. We do have some yellow flag news coming out, but I don't expect the biggest impacts here for today. All right, during the night, we do have some NZD news, 3 a.m. We have the official cash rate from NZD. This could have a pretty big impact here, so please be aware of this news event. So if you're looking for NZD pairs before you go to sleep, make sure you are risk-free or maybe cash out. I don't know what your risk rules are, but just be aware that we do have this news event coming in for today, or for the next night, let me say it like that. All right, further, we don't have anything we need to really pay attention at. Good. Let's talk about and let's see what the charts has to offer. I did had some price drops yesterday. Wasn't really the most exciting day. Reacted on two, but didn't really do what I wanted to see from these charts. All right. If you're new here, if this is one of your first sessions, let me first pretty quick explain you what we're doing here. And it's pretty simple. All right, for the people who are following me a long time already, you know that I love to keep it simple and I don't like to make it too complicated. So what we are doing is pretty simple. We are going to focus ourselves on the market structure and find ourselves these highs and lows. All right, so the market always moves in waves, and that's what we want to get out of the market. We want to get these highs, these lows, and every time the market breaks these highs, we want to find ourselves at higher low. For example, here with this uptrend, again, if we break, we want to find ourselves at higher low. And of course, if we are looking this way at the charts, we want to prefer that the market is in a trending state, and also that we are looking at the trend of the market, so that we want to follow that trend. Okay, so if you're following the trend, you have a higher chance that you will find yourself some good entries, with some good trades that keeps on running. All right, so use a twin trade or that kind of stuff. Of course, your risk is 100% your own decision how you want to use that. Okay, so good, let's go straight into it. Let's see what the charts has to offer, and I will start making my price traps. Let me know in the chat box if you have any pairs that you're looking for. Just let me know, and I will check them. You can always send your links out here in the chat box, and I will check them, or just the pairs. Okay, let me first make sure everything is gone from my alerts, so I have a clean, there we go, list, remove, there we go. Okay, that's empty. Good. Let's just start with clean new charts for today. Good. For ADJPY, this was one of them yesterday. I saw that breakout of the highs, and I was looking for the retest into these demand zones. Market decided to go a little lower and take the previous demand zones out of it. Still that uptrending market. I'm gonna stay away from it at this moment. I want to wait for the market to create some new structure here. Maybe we can trap it and then wait for another breakout retest to the upside. Or if the market creates some structure, of course, we also have the opportunity to follow that breakout retest to the downside. Just know that if you're going against the trend, this is a higher risk, okay? We always prefer the trending market or the direction of the trend, okay? So if the market does the opposite, just know that it's possible to react on it, but that there is a higher risk on that, okay? GCAT or G-Chef, one of the two. I think it will be GCAT. If we're taking a look at this one here, we do have some structure that we can focus on. Euro USD looks good to me. All right, I'm gonna check it in a moment. Let me first start with GCAT. This is like a little bit of mixed feeling here that I see, or mixed signals that I see here. So market has created some new structure. If we zoom out, the long term is of course the uptrending market, so the 4-hour time frame. So we could potentially wait for a breakout retest to the upside. But if I see that breakout retest, we want to pay attention, or we want to be careful if the market comes to this zone, that this is not just the creation of a higher low or of a lower high, excuse me. Okay, so make sure you take a look at that and you be aware that this is also a possibility if we take a look at GCAT. Okay, so good. That's our very first price trap for today. For the people who do not know, I always make sure I have the alerts ready. So I put my alerts on the horizontal lines. I do it on the lowest one. I do it on the highest one. And I just use the option once per bar close. So if the market decides to break a direction up or down, we simply only get an alert when we get a 1-hour candle close below or above our zone. Okay, so this is a good confirmation to see if the market is ready to follow up this long-term uptrend or maybe start a downtrend. Euro USD, let me check. There we go. This is a very small price trap. What I should recommend you is just start focusing more on what the longer time frame is showing you. So for example, now Euro USD is moving strongly to the downside, and there's a very high potential that the market will go up from this point, but that this will be the supply zone that it's searching for to follow up this downwards movement. If you wanted to react here on this structure, we do already have a breakout retest here. But of course, we have that new resistance zone like you drew on your charts that we can focus on, okay? So I'm gonna draw it like this. There is a possibility to have a breakout retest to the upside, but like I said, be careful because we do have a strong supply zone sitting above. There we go. So if we got a breakout, I don't want to see a too big of a breakout. If we can get something like this, would be amazing to then take it all the way up, because we do have some room, for example, from this point, 50 pips from our zone, around 40 pips, so that's good, okay? So we do have room. Just know that you're going against the market movement or the movement we are doing the last couple of days, okay? I do like the price chart. It's a little small, but I do like it. We have some clean structure, obvious structure. Let's see if we can use that. Good. So once per bar close, crossing up, break resistance. There we go. And then of course we do have the break of the support. If the market decides to just drop from this point, we have the alert ready to take the other direction. There we go. That's Euro USD. Any more pairs? I will go through. I already watched AUD Canadian, don't like it. AUD JPY also don't like it. AUD NZD, not really the most clean structure. And that's not really what I like to see. Euro Canadian, let me check. A little bit the same like GCAT here. We do have like that longer term downtrending movement here, or it's more like a consolidation. But if you focus on what the 1 hour has done the last couple of days / weeks, you see that we have that low, lower high, lower low, and then we can surge that lower high around that point. But we can also react on the breakout retest leading to a lower high right over here. Okay, so that's definitely an option here. So there we go. That's number 3 for today. There we go. Press it down. Break support. And then of course we do have this resistance zone ready. Only 50 minutes left to confirm our breakout to the upside. There we go. So AUD/USD, I already checked this one. I don't like it. Canadian JPY is doubtful. We do have a proper breakout and retest here. So let's just see. Let's just use this support and resistance zone that we have here. The market is slowing down around this area, so that could be a good sign for the market to follow up the uptrending movement. I would be, or what I personally gonna do is I'm gonna put an alert on this low here because I want to get it a little deeper to fill up that imbalance zone and to react on that demand. But if we can get here below that low, I would be interested to find myself an entry around that zone. Okay. Pretty much the only thing I would be looking for is the upside movement. This is a beautiful example, by the way, for the price traps. You see the market doing that breakout, retest time and time and time again. Then market does something messy. We wait a little bit till we have new structure, and now we are here. Okay. So I'm gonna give that one a blue flag. Euro AUD, nope, don't like it. Euro pounds, ugly, no clean structure. Euro JPY a little bit the same like we see on Canadian JPY. So let's just put that chart on here. I think every JPY pair will be the same for today. Happens a lot of times, which is good, but also not good, because if you're reacting on 3 JPY pairs all in the same direction and the JPY takes over control and goes the other direction, you're definitely gonna have 3 stop losses. But if you cannot handle that, you should train yourself to handle it, because that's part of trading. If you cannot handle some stop losses, I don't think you're in the right position or right place. It's just part of trading. Without losing trades, you cannot create a win ratio, right? There we go. Let me do the same here for Canadian JPY. It's perfectly possible market will take off from this point, but then we have some new resistance zones to focus on. Okay, so same thing here for Canadian JPY. If we start take off from this point and we break resistance, okay, we can focus on that new resistance zone. Okay. Good. Euro NZD, nope, ugly. GA, don't like it. GJ, a little bit the same again. And we are pretty much creating this uptrending movement, so there is a very high chance we will find ourselves a higher low here. This, if we get a breakout to the downside, I would prefer to see the market creating these equal lows here. Okay, so that's the support, that's the resistance, crossing down. There we go. So let me put an alert here also. Ooh, this one already filled up. This is different with Canadian JPY and Euro JPY. With Canadian JPY and Euro JPY, we didn't fill up yet. So that's a little different here. We shall see where we can get. There we go. Let me just check these fib levels pretty quick. I'm curious. Okay, we can go a little lower here. We are now reacting a little bit on that 6150 zone. We shall see if the market will respect it. And otherwise, we do have the 72, 78 zone that is ready. Let me check Euro JPY, same thing or not. Same exact thing. Canadian JPY, let me check. Oof, here we already have 72, 78 area that is touched. Let's see. We can only learn from this, right? GN, I don't like it. GU. No, I'm gonna stay away from it. I don't like the charts today. Not really the most clean structure that we are used to. Okay, as the Canadian maybe. Let me check. I would be focused on this one here. This is the one that created the low. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. Always happy if I can help with one of your questions so you can grow, especially so you can find these price traps yourself. Right? As the Canadian is also a fun pair when it comes down to price trap. If you just backtest the past, you will see how many times it respects these breakouts and retests. As the JPY was a beauty last week, I reacted here on this low for the buy. Now we don't have anything. Mic is not good anymore. Maybe because I'm talking the other way. In front of me. Just make sure everything is good here. Test 1, 2, 3. Yes, good now. All right, amazing. Yeah, I think I was talking too much to my other screen. That will be the reason. So, and the USD. Let me check. USD Canadian. Nah, I don't like it. USD JPY. Also, not really the chart I'm looking for. Gold is consolidating like crazy. I did had a good price trap last week with this breakout retest here. Then I was looking to follow that up, but I knew there was a big chance that the market would react on this demand zone, which happened. And this is why I'm always saying, like, there's always a higher risk when you're going against trend. Plus, you don't have these massive trades that keeps on running in that direction you're looking for. Okay, so here you have the breakout retest to the downside, and you know that this demand level is a very dangerous zone, or dangerous, a very high potential zone. Let me say it like that, where the market could potentially start moving up. Then you know that you gotta cash out your trades here, all right, or just cash out like 80% of your lot size and leave the rest like 20% of your lot size, something like that, to keep it running if the market decides to go in a downtrend from this point on. Okay, now we don't have structure, so I'm leaving it alone. ADCHF, I'm gonna wait a little bit on that one. It was a little ugly here, what was happening. So now we are finally out of that consolidation zone, which is good, but we don't, or we cannot do anything with that. CHF JPY, interesting chart. We have the broken resistance. We also have the support, of course. And we have a new resistance here. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 zones on this one. If the market decides to break out of that resistance zone, that could be a confirmation to follow a trend, of course, because we are creating higher highs. UJ, I'm not looking at UJ anymore. I don't really like the chart, what I'm seeing there. We don't have the clean structure. Market is moving very volatile. with these massive moves. So I'm personally staying away from that. But I will check the chart in 1 minute, like just give it a review pretty quick. Support. So we have two options here. Let me show you. So the ones per bar close, of course, above the resistance zone we have right now. There we go. Or the market will do something like this, or this, or we will simply come from this point and do this. Okay, so these are the three options we have, or of course the breakout to the downside, you know that. But when we are looking for the breakout that the market has created right now, we can have a deeper retest, or we can break out and retest. Okay, I'm gonna give that one an orange flag, and I'm gonna put a retest alert on this horizontal line. Retest, there we go. Would you still react on UJ? Yeah, you could wait for a retest here, but I don't know. I just don't like the chart. I don't like what I'm seeing here. I'm gonna wait till I have some new structure that I can work with. At this point, I just don't like what I'm seeing here. Euro CHF, nope, ugly. Beautiful how this G-Chef trade came back. I think it was like, we were talking about this last week, right? I didn't took it, I didn't mark it up, but I think me and Alain from the call here, we talked about G-Chef, and we said like the higher retest is a very high probability, and this is exactly what happened. We were around this point, this was Thursday or Friday, and we were talking about this supply zone to react to the downside, and that happened pretty strong and pretty good. But I'm gonna stay away from it because I don't like, or we don't have a lot of structure that we can work with. Okay, chef, we finally get a breakout of that massive consolidation. We are still going against the trend, like you can see, but because of that breakout of that massive consolidation, I'm just curious to see if the market has the possibility or strength to hold that breakout to the upside and give us a good entry opportunity here. So let's see if that's possible. And that will be the last one for today. So let me put an alert here like this. Point of interest, there we go. So I would be looking around that zone, exactly where I put my line right now. And this little imbalance here would be very interesting to find yourself some entries, or this one, okay? So that could be a very strong zone to look at. And that's chef. So we are done for today. We have a lot of price traps still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 price traps, more than enough. Let me go over one more time. So what do we have? Canadian JPY. I want to see the market giving us that deeper retest, if that's possible, yes or no. If market takes off from that point, you still have opportunities to find yourself some entries here using price action like candlestick patterns, or maybe going to these lower time frames, 5-minute time frame, for example, wait for a breakout of structure and a retest. That's also possible. It depends 100% on yourself how you want to react on that. Then we have Euro Canadian, which is breaking to the upside. We can find ourselves a retest to get it back to these supply levels, would be very interesting. Euro JPY, like I said, same thing like Canadian JPY. We are looking for a deeper retest if this is possible, yes or no. Euro USD, like I said also in the beginning, if we move up immediately to these supply zones, I would be very careful when the market gets back to our resistance zone, okay? Because we can basically just follow up that downtrending movement from that point, okay? Then we have GCAT. Here we are also in a waiting game if we can follow up the downtrend movement, or if we can get higher here. If we get a breakout to the upside, be careful from the supply zone. Just a little bit same thing like we are seeing on Euro USD. GJ, also waiting for a deeper retest. Let's see if that's possible. Same thing like the other JPY pairs. NZD Canadian, beautiful price trap, simply waiting for the breakout. Here we have these multiple options like I talked about. We can break and retest to the upside, we can go for a deeper retest and move to the upside, or we can break and go to the deeper retest and move to the upside. All right, 3 different options. And then we have U-shaft. Like I said, we finally broke out of a massive consolidation zone. Let's see if the price is strong enough to hold that breakout and start moving in an uptrending direction. Okay, and that will be it for today. Like you guys know, I'm always sharing the pairs into the chat box, so you will see it passing by, and also I will upload the recording into my YouTube channel to, yeah, that you can find yourself some educational videos. You can watch it again to see how I'm trapping and these kind of stuff. All right, let me end off with a quick review on Bitcoin. Like I said, we are massive in some massive supply zone on a daily time frame, and we got a breakout on that 4-hour time frame. All right, that 4-hour time frame broke structure, reacted pretty strong on this demand, and now I'm very curious if we can hold this supply zone. All right, we reacted on the first one. Beautiful to see how it's getting back to that doji here. We can still go higher to this supply zone and move to the downside, or we can just move from this point. So it's very important if we want to see Bitcoin following up. Let me take another box here. If we want to see Bitcoin following up that downwards movement, I want to see the market breaking this support zone here. Okay, of course, obviously. Okay, very simple. Or if we respect this, like you can see here on the daily, we have a small breakout of this high, and we are now reacting on demand. So it's perfectly possible market will start moving higher from this point. Okay, so these are the 2 options I'm looking for. This was a beautiful moment here. If you are trading Bitcoin, if you're day trading Bitcoin, this was a very nice moment to find yourself some entries to the downside. But at this point, I'm waiting for a breakout of this low, or maybe the market following up that breakout of the highs on the daily time frame. Okay, Ethereum, a little bit the same thing here. I was also looking for some retracements here. We didn't get back to the lows, all the way to the lows, pretty much what I wanted to see. It's more like this zone here, something like this. There we go. But we are reacting on this very first supply zone here. So let's see if we can hold this, if we can start breaking structure, taking out these equal lows that I'm talking about for a long time already, to then maybe start finally moving to the upside for another bull movement for a couple of months or maybe weeks. We shall see. All right, it's just a waiting game right now. We don't really have an obvious direction. Okay, and that will be it. These are the reviews for crypto. I always just do Ethereum and Bitcoin, because if you know what these two are doing, you pretty much know what the whole market is doing. Of course, you still need to do an analysis, but it's always good to make an analysis on Bitcoin to then see what the other markets or other pairs are going to do. All right, it's a little bit the same like analyzing USD to trade Forex. All right, USD is one of the major pairs. If you know what USD is doing, you can trade a lot of pairs. All right, so this is basically the same. All righty, and that will be it. If there are no more questions, is EuroJPY active now? Let me check. I don't get an alert, so for me, no. I want to see the deeper retest. I want to get lower into these demand zones personally. Now I know some people love to react on price action, so candlestick patterns, and the candlestick patterns are in place. Okay, so 30-minute, 1 hour, we have pretty much engulfing candles and that kind of stuff. So this is pretty much showing us that the market is getting ready to go up. Also, if you take a look at the lower time frames, we are breaking that structure. So there are a lot of signs that the market could potentially move to the upside from this point and doesn't get lower anymore. And this could be a good zone to look at for a small retracement. Okay, but at this moment, it's not active for me personally. Okay, I'm not looking for an entry right now. Or I am looking for an entry, but deeper. Okay, I hope that makes sense, and I hope that's clear. Okay, and that will be it. I'm going to share the pairs into the Telegram channel. I'm going to upload the recording into the YouTube channel, of course. And we see each other back tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. for a brand new session. I will go over every single price trap from today. I will review them and see if there were some possibilities and how we could potentially react on these price traps. All right. So thank you all. Enjoy this beautiful, beautiful day. Use it to grow every day. Like even if it's only 1%, just keep on growing. Okay. So thank you all. See you very soon again. Ciao, ciao.